defense, or my shield, is with God, who saves upright in heart. I say defense because the King James Version uses defense instead of shield. He is our defense. He is our shield. Sometimes we get in a situation where we want to defend ourselves. We want to justify ourselves. In Isaiah 53, verses 7 and 8, it says, He, Jesus, was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He was led as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before its shearers is silent, so he opened not his mouth. It's hard to do that sometimes. And in Exodus 14, verses 13 and 14, Moses, speaking to the children of Israel, says to them, Fear not, stand still, and I will show you the salvation of the Lord. Then it goes on to say, the Lord will fight for you while you hold your peace. Another translation says, while you be still. And another one says, while you keep silent. Sometimes that's what we have to do in order to glorify God. We have to trust in Him that He will defend us. That's why Jesus didn't say anything. None of their accusations meant nothing to Him, because He knew God was the judge. God knew his heart. He knew that he was in obedience to God. He knew that his defense was of God and that God would defend him. And I'm going to share something I learned in my Beta Satan class. And in Proverbs 25, verses 21 and 22, and then again in Romans 12:20, it says the same thing. It says if you feed your if your enemy's hungry, you feed him. If he's thirsty, you give him drink. And by doing this, you heap coals of burning fire on them. I never knew what that meant, but in this class, what I learned from John Bevere is that it says that you speed up God's judgment on them when you don't backbite, when you don't defend yourself, and when you love them. Love covers a multitude of sins. Now, God knows if you're just being nice to say, if you're being nice and you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to watch God just have wrath on you. See, because notice it also says the upright in heart, who saves the upright in heart. See, God sees your heart and He knows what you're doing, and it has to be a true heart. God knows our hurts. He knows our pains. He knows what you're going through right now, and everything happens for a reason. A few months back, I saw a blog where it said, Christians, stop saying everything happens for a reason. And I disagree with that, because in Psalms 56, verse 8, it says, you number my wanderings. He knows every step that you take. He knows every mistake that you made. Every time you wandered off and then you came back, He numbers them. He knows them. He knows everything that's going on with you. Then it goes on to say that God puts our tears in His bottle. Every time you're hurt, every time you're grieved, every tear you've ever cried, He knows about it. Just like He knows the numbers of hairs on your head are numbered, He knows every tear that you've cried. And then it goes on to say, when I cry out to you, then my enemies turn back. This I know, because God is for me. God is for us. God is with us. He will never leave us nor forsake us. And then it says, in God, I praise His word. I trust in His word. In God I trust. I will not fear. What can man do to me? God's got this. He's got us. And there's a plan for your life. And He loves you. And in closing, I just want to share this. And it was in one of my devotions today. It says, Jesus speaking to His saints, you were never popular on earth, and nobody knew much about you. The life you lived to my glory in the uninspiriting spirit of duty seemed to be wasted, and its sacrifice to be worthless by those who knew it. But your love to me was wonderful. Men said you'd made mistakes and were narrow-minded, and did not catch the spirit of the age. Men thought you were a fanatic and a fool, and called you so. Men crucified you as they crucified me, but your love to me was wonderful. Just know one day we're going to see our Savior face to face. He's going to say, if we're upright in heart to Him and we're obedient, that your love was wonderful to me. Trust in God. Let Him work on your heart. Let Him conform you to the image of Christ. That's why these things are happening. Remember, it's about His glory. He loves you. Let God be your defense. Let Him be your shield. Have a great day.